Have you or a loved one recently been arrested for a serious crime?
Is your professional reputation at risk?
Aggressive representation from a qualified defense attorney can help you avoid conviction and keep your reputation untarnished.
Hi, I'm Charles McGill, and I'll fight for your rights. With extensive experience in successfully defending against a wide range of criminal offenses and high-profile cases, you can rest assured that you'll get the fair trial you deserve from McGill, Guzman McGill. Call us at 559-255-3425 or visit us online at toplawyersfresno.com.
Hi, I'm John Mallos. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this Thursday morning. Today, we're talking about foreign exchange students, how you can have a foreign exchange student in your house and be a host family, or how maybe you yourself would want to become a foreign exchange student overseas somewhere, some particular country of your choosing. 436-ME-TV, option 11. We're back here on the program. Charles Chuck McGill, our sponsor today here on Connect with Me.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
Back here on the program, Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno. It's a Thursday morning on the showroom floor at Ventura TV. And if it's 10 o'clock in the morning here live, of course, we're on every Monday through Friday. Little programming note for tomorrow here on the program. It is Friday morning. That's tomorrow, 24 hours away. We got Joaquin Arambula coming on. He's running for State Assembly District number 31. And I have a feeling this is going to be a heated race between him and a council member, Clint Olivier, who is also running for the same spot. So we'll see what Joaquin Arambula has to say tomorrow on the program. Been trying to get him for a while, and we finally nailed him down for tomorrow morning on our show. Anyway, you're watching us on Comcast channel 375 as usual. That is Xfinity. But if you don't have Comcast cable in your home or your apartment, you can catch us over the air broadcast with a broadcast antenna, unless you live in an apartment complex, which in that case they don't allow these antennas to go up. I don't know why. But if you have an antenna, it's 43.6, 13.1, and you can buy those anywhere, Monday through Friday, live at 10 o'clock. If you can only catch a portion of this program and you can't DVR it for whatever particular reason, you can catch the replay at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on 13.6 YouTube, and in prime time tonight, 8 o'clock at 4.6 Biz TV. And again, Charles Chuck McGill, our sponsor today here on the program. Time to get right to it because we have a special guest that flew in from the East Coast just to be here with us today, and we appreciate that. And we're talking about foreign exchange students, and each and every year there are thousands upon thousands of foreign exchange students that come into this country. Now, by the same token, there are thousands in this country who also travel abroad overseas to become a foreign exchange student in some foreign country. It's really amazing. It's an amazing situation. Let's roll a videotape and I will show you exactly what I am talking about, my friends. Student exchange programs became very popular in this country right after World War II. And the whole idea was to increase the understanding and the tolerance of other cultures around the world. You know, improving language skills, social skills, learning to live and become educated in a foreign land are just some of the other reasons why students are eager to become involved. And some of these foreign exchange student programs became even more popular after the Cold War. That's because there were more students, both from Russia and Germany, coming here to the United States looking for formal education. But there are so many things that have to fall into place before a student can enter into this country, one of which they need a student visa, typically a J1 or an F1 visa. They must be 15 to 18 years of age. Then finding a host family can be a task all by itself, but working through an agency can make it a lot easier. Matching the right student with a compatible family is the key to success. Students must fill out applications, have letters of reference, provide transcripts and grades, and their grades have got to be up, my friends, not down, got to be up. And they have to have medical records, and if they are working through an agency, they must abide by their guidelines. Most stays are anywhere from 6 months to a year. Host families must meet their requirements as well, like filling out their own applications, going through a series of interviews and background checks, yes, conducted by the State Department. And what kind of neighborhood do these host families live in? That all comes into play. Live in our studio right now is Gary Lubret. He is the program director for International Student Exchange. He's high up on the ladder in the agency. That is an agency that brings together foreign exchange students and the host families. By the way, this agency was formed back in 1980, and I got to say, I got to hand it to Gary. I know he's a young guy, but he hopped on a plane yesterday and flew here from New York City just to be on this program. So we appreciate his time. You know, there's some 40 regional offices around the country with this agency. Fresno is one of them. The Central Valley is one of them. New York City, of course, is the headquarters. So Gary Lubret is here. He is the head guy. You can talk to him if you want to become a host family. In fact, this agency, this program, they're looking for more host families here in the Central Valley. So if you want to join up and maybe be a part of the program and host a foreign exchange student from, say, Sweden or Germany or France, call us here at 436-ME-TV, option 11. We're back after this from Charles Chuck McGill, attorney at law, in just a moment.
Have you or a loved one recently been arrested for a serious crime?
Is your professional reputation at risk?
Aggressive representation from a qualified defense attorney can help you avoid conviction and keep your reputation untarnished.
Hi, I'm Charles McGill, and I'll fight for your rights. With extensive experience in successfully defending against a wide range of criminal offenses and high-profile cases, you can rest assured that you'll get the fair trial you deserve from McGill, Guzman McGill. Call us at 559-255-3425 or visit us online at toplawyersfresno.com.
The new Frigidaire Professional line at Ventura TV Video Appliance. Enjoy generous-sized cooktops and sauté or simmer with ease, while true convection ovens offer even baking and juicy roasting perfection. Foods stay their freshest in spacious refrigerators with convenient controls and clear filtered ice and water. Easy to clean surfaces reduce fingerprints, and the quietest of dishwashers makes cleanup a snap. The new Frigidaire Professional line at Ventura TV Video Appliance.
Back here on the show, a very exciting program today here for the full hour, 10 to 11 o'clock in the morning, talking about foreign exchange students. And if you want to become a host family, you can. You can call us here at 436-ME-TV, option 11. Gary Lubret is here. He is the program director for the agency in New York. Good to see you, Gary. How was the flight in?
Excellent. No complaints at all.
Hey, good. Welcome here. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Glad you had a good stay overnight here in the city of Fresno. I want to talk first about the application process.
Sure.
There are probably a whole ton of people here in the Central Valley, up and down the Central Valley, that maybe have thought about being a host family, wanting to help out a foreign exchange student. Tell us about the application process, first of all, not only for the students themselves coming,
Sure.
say, from overseas, but for the host families themselves. What's the process? Walk us through it.
Sure. So any interested individual or family that'd like to host an exchange student first would go to our website at www.iseusa.com.
International Student Exchange.
Correct. Name of our company, iseusa.com. And we have an online host family application, which they would go out and fill out. And it asks detailed information about their community, their family makeup, the school the student would be attending, background information, and a list of hobbies and interests the family has, as long as a letter introducing themselves to the student, and a family album, photos giving an insight into who the family is. And once they fill that out, they would be in contact with an area representative in the local community who would go and do a host family visit to vet the family, make sure that everything checks out. And at that point, once everything is finally approved, this family could pick a student, and we get the ball rolling right after that.
Yeah. Now, what about the student application process? What
Sure.
happens if they're coming from Spain, from France, Germany, Mexico, who knows, wherever?
The student application process is fairly uniform across the board. They would go through one of our partnering agencies that we have throughout the world. They'd fill out their own student application, and the entire family that the student belongs to would fill out as well. Very similar to the host family, they put in their own family album, put in letters from teachers giving letters of reference. Student would write a letter. Once they've completed their application and it's been accepted by ISC, before they could even come to the United States, they have to be approved by a U.S. consulate officer in their home country to obtain their visa, their J-1 visa, to come to the United States.
What's the difference, quickly, J1 and F1 visa?
Sure. J1 is for a public school program, and it's a single entry. They come in, they have an entry date, and they have a departure date. An F1 visa is primarily used for multiple reentry for a student who'd be staying or coming back for multiple years of education, whereas the J1 is a cultural exchange visa, where the F1 is an educational visa.
So the J1 is more common.
Correct, yes.
Because it's like 6 months or a year and then out.
Absolutely.
Pretty much. Okay, for the host families now, and I mentioned this, I just touched on it briefly in the monologue, and they do go through an extensive background check,
Yes.
right? They talk to friends, family, whoever might be involved with this student to make sure that everything checks out. Now, what happens if what would cause a red flag to happen with say a host family?
Sure. There's a number of things that we could find out immediately from a host family application. There is a section where the host family has to divulge if there's been any sort of crime or they've been accused of any sort of incident. They'd have to reveal that. If anything comes up on the background check, we'd have to investigate that. When the area rep does the home visit, if they're uncomfortable, we'd take their word for it. So we have many different levels and layers to protect the integrity of the program and also protect the student before they even get here.
Yeah, interesting. Now, what if the host family, and this is a question I thought of last night, what if the host family is a single parent, say a single mom, but let's say she's also partially disabled. Let's say she's in a wheelchair. Let's say there's some medical issues there.
Sure.
Do those automatically disqualify you, or can somebody who's disabled also have a foreign exchange student?
There's no immediate disqualification based primarily on a medical disability with the host parent. We'd have to investigate each case individually and find out what the circumstance is, if it would prevent her from hosting the exchange student for a variety of reasons where they couldn't work with the student or they couldn't interact with the student, or would it be a situation that would not truly represent a day in the life of an American, which would not be a situation we'd want an exchange student to come over and be put in, where that they would be put at a liability or disability because of something that the host family would have.
And also, what about host families who are single parents? That's okay, right?
Yep, single parents with children, perfectly able, fit to host. Single parents without children, they are also able to host. They just have to go through an extra layer of reference checks, and we would make sure that they would be able to have the exchange student, and we also would need to notify the international partner in advance of the student arriving to make sure that they would be okay with that student going to that family.
So they understand what the home environment is like.
Exactly. We are upfront about that.
Yeah, here's a divorced family and this and that. So, okay, here's another question I had last night that went through my mind, because my ex-wife is actually having a foreign exchange student come into her home this summer. Now, there's already, let's see, how many kids in the house? Let's see, I got my 2 kids plus 3 step-kids, so 5 kids in the house at the same time.
Yep.
Does it matter how many kids are already in the home? Is there a limit? Like, let's say, okay, you already have 10 kids, you can't put another one in there, or does that not matter?
You know, we'd have to use a holistic approach to that. We'd have to look at the host family makeup, look at the house, see if there's enough room, and also if the family can adequately provide for another student in that house.
What are the responsibilities of the host family?
The host family, the main responsibility is to provide a room for the student, and the student can share a room with another child in the home, of course having the same gender, within an appropriate age range. The family should have enough financial resources to provide for another student in the home. Family does not have to provide insurance, medical insurance for the student. Student already has that. The family would have to provide at least 2 meals a day for the student. And anything else beyond that, if the student wants to do shopping on their own for clothing, toiletries, transportation, the student would be responsible for buying anything of that nature. But generally speaking, when a student comes to the family treats the student as one of their own.
Yeah, so it has to. And do you know, there's so much that goes into this. Once a student comes into one of these host families, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work out, but it could. It could work out. So how should a parent treat this foreign exchange student?
Sure. We ask that parents treat the students like their own children. Give them the same rules that they would provide for their own children.
Don't give them special treatment?
Yeah, don't put the student on a pedestal, because you're setting up that student for failure, because it could incite perhaps jealousy with the other children in the home, And there would be a honeymoon period where the student feels special, and that inevitably wears off. But we ask that the family do treat the child like their own.
There are several different stages that happen here during the course of time. That's the 6 months or a year. And you mentioned the honeymoon stage.
Yeah.
What is that exactly?
The honeymoon period is where the student first arrives, and the family and student are immediately excited about everything. Everything is brand new. So showing the student around, everything is truly exciting. But as we know, in any relationship, things start to settle in. And that's where we have to make sure that the family and student are on the same page, and that everybody agrees and can work together in resolving anything that may come up.
And I got this, I think, from your website, but I may not have. But let me go through all the stages, and you can comment on any one that you want to. There's the honeymoon stage, the hostility stage. I found that kind of funny. The humorous stage, the in sync stage, the re-entry culture shock stage, and the re-socialization stage. You want to comment on any of those?
Sure. When the exchange students come here, there's always that initial culture shock when they come to the United States, regardless of what country the student comes from. And what we tend to see is that over a period of time, whether they're interacting with friends that they've made here in the United States, they tend to settle in, and they become part of the fabric of the school, and they become part of their family. But as with any individual, be it a child of their own living in their house, or if anybody that you've interacted with and had relationships with, and you're living under the same roof, sometimes people, they rub elbows the wrong way, or things.
Maybe the chemistry is
Sure,
not
there's
right.
maybe misunderstandings, and the family may not know how to handle it.
There may be some jealousy.
Absolutely. If anybody's ever lived with anybody for any period of time, you know that sometimes there may be issues, but they need to be resolved through proper levels of communication.
Or work together with anybody a certain length of time.
Exactly.
That's the same thing. That's a joke, by the way. The ambivalent stage, what is that?
Well, there may be some initial resistance on the part of the student, or even on the part of the family, to really interact, because there's some unknown fears, whatever it may be. There's a lot of insight and development of a relationship, but there always is a little, nervousness along the way.
know.
So that may cause some friction.
I know. Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens at my ex-wife's house this summer. I mean, my kids are already talking about it. They've already Skyped the student, already emailed him. The ball's in action. It's rolling, my friends. 436 MeTV option 11. Caller, you're on the line. Go ahead.
Hello, I have one question. Do the parents or does the host family get compensated in any way, or do they get any money? And also I have another question. What happens if the foreign exchange student commits a crime? Those are my two questions. Thank you.
Oh, good ones.
Sure.
Two good ones.
Sure. I'll tackle the first one about compensation. The families are not compensated by any means. This is a volunteer program with a
But they get a tax credit. from
There
what
is
I
a
was reading.
$50 tax credit per month for the student, but there is no compensation from the organization.
Yeah.
To the second question regarding any crimes or anything of that nature committed by the student, we, of course, take anything that the student does into consideration, whether or not they've committed a crime, whatever it may be. We will work, obviously, with proper legal organizations, be it the police, anything of that nature. We would handle it like we would anybody else that's here in the United States.
Would they automatically be deported out of the country, or would they have to face charges here?
It would depend on the nature of the incident, of the crime, whatever it may be. But there is no true black and white. Obviously, if they break the law,
Every case is different.
sure. But if they break the law, there's a good chance they would be returning home.
Hey, by the way, before we go to break here, just to confirm what I read, the foreign exchange student has to have no less than a 3.0 grade average?
Correct.
Otherwise,
They will not come on the program.
impossible, huh?
No, we only ask our agencies abroad to send us their best academic students, because the public schools in the United States are very selective.
What if they come here with straight A's, and while they're here for the course of time over the next, let's say, 6-7 months, their grades start going in the tank? Then
Sure.
what happens?
We ask, obviously, at that point, if the student's academic average starts degrading over a period of time, work with their local coordinator. We work with the school, find out what's going on, if we can help the student. And we'd go through proper channels to improve the student's standing while they're here in the United States.
Amazing. All right, Gary Lubret is here. He is the program director for International Student Exchange. He flew all the way from New York City yesterday just to be here with us. You're welcome to call in at 436-ME-TV option 11. The agency is looking for host families right here in the Central Valley, so you can call in and talk to Gary or ask any question. And also, just keep in mind, these foreign exchange students that come from overseas, I don't care what country they come from, they're all teenagers, and basically teenagers, no matter where they're from around the world, they're all basically the same. They want cell phones, they want video games, they don't want to be bothered, don't talk to them. Anyway, we're back with our program here on Connect With Me after this for Charles Chuck McGill.
Yeah, we have Marie living with us. She's from Germany.
Getting them involved in school activities, that's where they meet other kids. It's not so much in the classroom.
We want them to be who they are and become part of us, and us become part of them. And we give our hearts away to each of them, but they also give back.
Have you or a loved one recently been arrested for a serious crime?
Is your professional reputation at risk?
Aggressive representation from a qualified defense attorney can help you avoid conviction and keep your reputation untarnished.
Hi, I'm Charles McGill, and I'll fight for your rights. With extensive experience in successfully defending against a wide range of criminal offenses and high-profile cases, you can rest assured that you'll get the fair trial you deserve from McGill Guzman McGill. Call us at 559-255-3425 or visit us online at toplawyersfresno.com.
Anyway, back here on the program, Connect With Me on Me TV Fresno. Glad you're here. Gary Lubrit is here. How's it going so far?
Excellent.
Good
Everything
program, huh?
Fantastic.
All right. Listen, let me ask you before I get into some of these email questions here, and that is, I did so much research over the last couple days on this. I forgot what I read already. It's all convoluted in my brain here. But I do want to ask you, because there is security on the minds of everybody now. Everybody's, even I'm paranoid about security. I'm always looking around. Gee, who's around me? You know what I mean? So you hear so much about terrorists coming from overseas. You hear about terror cells coming from the Middle East. Now, you don't deal with foreign exchange students coming from the Middle East, right?
No, not at all.
Okay. How do you make sure that the students that you work with that are coming here from Germany, France, England, wherever the case may be, how do you make sure that they're not part of a terror cell?
Sure. So the basic process that we provide is through the vetting of our U.S. consulate officers. So they will investigate.
They do the vetting.
They do the vetting. They'll investigate the student and the family, and they can deny a visa outright if they just get a bad feeling, and it's up to them entirely to decide, will the student be allowed to get a visa to come to the United States?
Has that happened? Have they ever denied?
We've seen denials from various different countries and U.S. consulates.
Hey, and talking to you the other day, I found this, or actually last night. So the host family, if they, what are the rules in terms of discipline for the foreign exchange student?
Sure.
If a foreign exchange student is out of line with the rules of the house, can a parent, a host family, take away the cell phone of a foreign exchange student? And your answer is?
They cannot take the possessions of the student away from them. Specifically,
they cannot.
No. And part of that is for communication purposes back home with their family. And the United States State Department is very strict about this, and so are we.
Can a host family get in trouble for doing that?
If they do that, and if it's described by the student, yes, there could be an issue.
A legal issue, right?
It could be if it escalates to a certain level, but we would handle it. And if there's any sort of disciplinary problems, each student comes to the United States with an assigned local coordinator that works and supervises that student. And we ask that if the family has any issues with the student or they feel uncomfortable for whatever reason, they voice those concerns with their local coordinator. And their local coordinator, as a representative of ISE, will go through the proper channels to write up the student, to communicate with the student, and to explain to the student that what they're doing is out of line. It could cost them their program if it escalates. Yeah.
And just to reiterate here, you guys have been in business here since 1980. That's a long time. That's like 36 years or so. You've never had a major incident with any kind of foreign exchange student.
There's never
been. So I just want to say that right out front here, right? Okay. And you have, how many, 40 regional offices you were telling me around the country, in every state?
Not in every, well, we place in every state. We have about 40 regional offices throughout the entire country, and we are well represented in each of the 50 states, including Hawaii and Alaska. I've been trying to do a training in Hawaii, but I've been unsuccessful so far.
Really?
But,
How come?
Well, I'm somewhat facetious in that comment. I'd like to go to Hawaii, but
Okay.
But yeah, we have had students go to Hawaii. We've had students go to Alaska.
Okay.
So we do place students throughout the entirety of the nation.
It is a nonprofit, your organization.
Yep.
International Student Exchange. And how many foreign exchange students do you place per year, roughly?
On average, about 2,800 to 3,000 students we get coming to the United States.
Now, you kind of shocked me the other day when I was talking to you when you were in New York, and that is that you said of your company, your company stands alone, it's 36 years, but there are now, like today, in today's world, there are like 40 competing agencies that do the same thing?
Sure. We as an organization...
What makes your company stand out from all the others?
Well, our years of service in the industry and the fact that we bring in the most amount of foreign exchange students granted by the United States State Department. We bring in approximately 10% of the total J1 student population. So
in the country?
1 out of every 10 exchange students on the J1 high school program is coming through international student exchange.
How many countries do you work with?
I'd say approximately about 40 to 50 countries we work with.
Okay, except the Middle East, like I said.
Except the Middle East.
How about South America?
We get many students from South America. Brazil is one of our big partners. We do Brazil, Bolivia.
Argentina?
We don't get any students from Argentina, but we get a couple students from Bolivia, Ecuador, Colombia. So we do have, we're well represented in South America.
Okay, most of your students come from what country?
Germany is probably one of our biggest partners.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Now, what if I'm 16 years old? I wish I was again. I'm sure you do too.
Absolutely.
And I want to go overseas and be a foreign exchange student. Can you help in that regard?
Yep, ISE.
What has to happen?
We have an outbound program for any American high school student that wishes to study abroad for a year or a semester. We have a program that they can go onto our website, find out more information, and just like in the student abroad, they would fill out an application, and we would work with our partnering agency overseas to get them placed with a host family.
Okay, and again, you work with about 40 different countries,
That's
and
right.
so I would have 40 countries to choose from?
Well, it depends on the country if they have availability for an American high school student. And on our website, you can see that we have a list of countries we know we have partnerships with. And usually those are the countries that are most often requested by American high school students.
Yeah, because in looking, we got a couple of minutes here before I got to go to break. In looking at the website last night, most of the countries that I would be able to go to are in Europe.
Yep. Yep.
Not South America, but Brazil is a big one. But most countries are in Europe. Do you deal with any of the Asian countries?
There's some interest, especially for Japan, for American students, but for the most part, American kids want to go to Europe because of the cultural similarities and fact that they may have had relatives come from Europe.
Yeah, and probably Germany is a big one. They want to go to Germany.
Germany's
They
a
probably
big
want to
one.
go to England.
Yep.
Perhaps Italy.
Yep.
Is a big one.
And the big question that we always have for students is what is their level of speaking in that language of that country that they would be traveling to?
That's another good question, because does the foreign exchange student that's coming here, is it a prerequisite that they have to know a little bit of English?
Sure. We ask that every student that comes to the United States have a medium proficiency in speaking and conversational English. And they go through, there's a variety of testing that's done in their home country. We get letters of reference and recommendation from their teachers abroad. And we base our admission on those recommendations. And occasionally we will Skype a student. We'll do random spot checks on students prior to them coming to the country.
436 Me TV, option 11. Gary Lubred is here. What's the advantage of being a host family?
It's a lifelong endeavor, meaning that the family that has a student will always have a connection with another country. And they'll always have a connection with another person in another country, which it's a valuable experience. It's priceless. You can't buy that. It's something that they have to experience and learn themselves. And it's a wonderful experience for them to have because they'll always have that connection to that country.
Mm-hmm. And what's the advantage for the student?
Student gets an in-depth look at the United States, and we want them to have a positive reflection on their time here with Americans, to learn about our country. You know, we can see now in an election year, there's a lot of divisiveness about world cultures and different interactions. This is a great opportunity for patriotic Americans to really show their love of this country with another student coming from Europe or South America or Asia.
Well, it's a great time for any foreign exchange student to come to this country this year, being an election year. They can see the differences between the two parties. They can look and listen and hear the candidates speak. They can read the newspapers, I'm sure, and they can take in and divulge and really, I mean, digest our political system and our way of life here.
Mm-hmm.
And do you promote that?
We don't necessarily promote it, but we certainly encourage students when they're here to really learn about the American democratic system, which for many students that are coming abroad from other countries, they may not be familiar with how our system works, but most of the students that come here are completely amazed how engaged Americans are with their political process.
Are they amazed at the freedom of speech?
Yeah, a lot of students are somewhat taken aback at first at how outspoken people can be.
Donald Trump?
I won't touch that, but you know,
I'm sure some students are absolutely startled when they hear Donald Trump talk.
Sure.
And in some countries that would never be allowed.
Yeah, there's certainly, in the way modern politics works, and you can hear the rhetoric that's spoken. Students are, as I said, they're amazed how Americans can get on TV and speak their mind freely without fear of rebuttal or
being thrown in prison.
Being thrown in prison or having anything of that nature. So it's certainly an exciting time, both domestic and international, for these students.
And one quick thing before we go to break here. What's the one thing that students tell you or that you hear of as to why they want to come here to America? What's the number one reason?
They really want to learn and to improve their English ability and to learn about American culture. They all have a deep love and admiration of the United States, and they want to be part of the fabric of American society.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. I'm going to come back with one more quick segment with you, Gary, and then we're going to get some other guests up here. As time goes on here, we're moving right along. Got about 30 minutes left in the show. Welcome to call in 436-ME-TV, option 11. Gary Lubret is our guest, International Student Exchange. He is the program director, flew in from New York City yesterday just to be here with us. So if you're looking to be a host family, call in today. Today's your day here on the program. Back in just a moment after this for Charles Chuck McGill, attorney at law.
Revan is now on KVHF channel 4.4.
Have you or a loved one recently been arrested for a serious crime?
Is your professional reputation at risk?
Aggressive representation from a qualified defense attorney can help you avoid conviction and keep your reputation untarnished.
Hi, I'm Charles McGill, and I'll fight for your rights. With extensive experience in successfully defending against a wide range of criminal offenses and high-profile cases, you can rest assured that you'll get the fair trial you deserve from McGill Guzman McGill. Call us at 559-255-3425 or visit us online at toplawyersfresno.com.
The new Frigidaire Professional line at Ventura TV Video Appliance. Enjoy generous-sized cooktops and sauté or simmer with ease, while true convection ovens offer even baking and juicy roasting perfection. Foods stay their freshest in spacious refrigerators with convenient controls and clear filtered ice and water. Easy to clean surfaces reduce fingerprints, and the quietest of dishwashers makes cleanup a snap. The new Frigidaire Professional line at Ventura TV Video Appliance.
Back here on the program, connect with me on MeTV Fresno. A special day here talking about foreign exchange students. 436-MeTV, option 11. You want to be a host family? Today's your day to call in, and we have an open line. Gary Lubret is here. He is the program director. Does that mean you're the head chief cook and bottle washer?
Well, I'm not the head honcho, but
okay, but you're high up on the
sure,
ladder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay, take a call here real quick. Good morning, you're on Connect with Me. Your question.
Hey, I was lucky enough to meet an exchange student. This exchange student goes to City College, though. Must be a different program. She is on like some kind of a cultural student exchange. She is a singer, and she was featured in the Pirates of Penzance production at Fresno City College this past, well, I think it was just before the end of last year. Delightful.
Okay.
She's working on her English skills, a little bit rough. So besides learning about our culture and experience, having the American experience, the language is a pretty important part of it too. How much on a pie graph is the actual education? I understand the cultural and language thing.
Great.
They're
Thank
continuing their education. So is that like
All right.
I'd say on a pie graph, I'd say the academic portion for the students in our program, it's probably close to 40 to 50% of what they do
Wow. Hey, Gary, a couple of quick questions here before we let you go, and that is, can the student choose a state of their liking?
here. Sure.
They can.
When the students apply, they can request up to 3 states that they would like to be placed in, and we all happen to be in a state that most students want to come to.
Most requested states are?
California, New York, and Florida.
For obvious reasons.
Obvious reasons.
Need go no further, right?
Yeah.
All right. Would a student exchange individual have a leg up in consideration for U.S. citizenship? That's an email question. That's a great question.
You know, that is a great question because we hear oftentimes students that come over in our program.
Hang on, caller. Be with you in a moment.
They want to come back.
Thank you.
And they're always excited about coming to the United States. There is, obviously, if a student has a great program and successful program, they're logged in with the Student Exchange Visitor Program, and they have had a record of coming to the United States. So it can't hurt them. Can't hurt them at all.
So they could have a leg up. You never know.
Yeah.
Depending on their behavior when they get here.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. Caller, you're on the air with our guest today, Gary Lubret. Go ahead.
Yeah, how are you doing today? I'm curious. I sponsored 2 different students in the last 20 years, one from Japan and one from Germany.
That's great.
Now, I'm a single retiree, partially disabled, and I wouldn't mind sponsoring the student. So what do I have to do?
Well,
stay on the line there. By the way, don't hang up. Okay.
Sure, we would be more than happy to work with you. And like I had mentioned at the top of the program, we would work with you with your host family application to have that filled out and have you fill it out, and then work with our local coordinator here who would do a home visit and get you started and have you select 2 students for you to have in your home.
Caller, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want to make sure that, Gary, you can maybe inform our caller where and what phone number they can call and what website they can go to. So listen up there, if you would, caller. Maybe have a pen, piece of paper ready.
Sure. So the individual that you'd want to reach out to, her name is Karen Toledo, and she can be reached at 844-723-7403.
One more time, slower.
Sure. 844-723-7403. And she'll help you get started and work with you on getting an application filled out and get the ball rolling.
Caller, are you there?
Okay. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Did you get that phone number?
Yeah, I did. 844-723-7403.
You got it. And there's also a website, Gary, right?
Yep. You can go to our homepage at iseusa.com or .org. It doesn't matter. They're both interchangeable.
And by the way, caller, if you look at your TV screen right now, don't turn the sound up, but there is the website right there you can go to.
Right, yeah, I got it, yeah.
You got it. All right. Great call. Thank you. Good luck to you. All right. So, Gary, I'm going to let you go now. We're going to bring up some of the other guests on this foreign exchange student program. And, gee, I sure appreciate you flying in from New York. Hope you have a safe trip back. Any plans on staying in California for a couple days?
I'm going up to the Bay Area after this to meet with a couple area representatives that will work with us and get them trained and hopefully keep building the area.
Well, enjoy yourself. And you're looking, obviously, for host families here in the Central Valley.
Yes, yes.
All right,
host families and anybody who wishes to work with us to help us find families, we're looking for you as well.
All right. Gary, thank you.
Thank
Pleasure
you, John.
meeting
Appreciate
you.
it. You too as well.
Thanks for flying in.
Not a problem.
Have a good, safe trip back.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right. That's Gary Lubret. He is the program director for International Student Exchange, the headquarters in New York City. We're back here with 2 foreign exchange students from Germany. And on the other side of that break, we'll talk to a host mom here with her daughter. Back in just a moment after this for Charles Chuck McGill, attorney at law.
Have you or a loved one recently been arrested for a serious crime?
Is your professional reputation at risk?
Aggressive representation from a qualified defense attorney can help you avoid conviction and keep your reputation untarnished.
Hi, I'm Charles McGill, and I'll fight for your rights. With extensive experience in successfully defending against a wide range of criminal offenses and high-profile cases, you can rest assured that you'll get the fair trial you deserve from McGill Guzman McGill. Call us at 559-255-3425 or visit us online at toplawyersfresno.com.
Not sure what you're watching? Want to see what's coming up next? Or just want to browse what's on without the hassle of flipping channels? Your wish has come true. Now you can view schedules for all the digital TV channels available in the Central Valley. Get local weather updates and forecasts, and listen to nationally syndicated Biz Talk Radio, all on KVHF 4.1. Rescan your TV now, then tune in to digital channel 4.1 to start enjoying the all-new TV guide.
Frigidaire. It means the first electric refrigerator. The first compact electric range. Now, there's the Frigidaire Gallery Range with Symmetry double ovens. It's designed to cook multiple dishes at multiple temperatures, so you can prepare the entire meal at the same time. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
After God created the world, He made man and woman. Then, to keep the whole thing from collapsing, He invented humor.
Sub, a perfect reason to rejoice. A distinctly positioned channel in the crowded Hindi general entertainment channel space. It is India's only family comedy entertainment channel with a core brand promise of असली मजा सबके साथ आता है.
देख रहा हूँ.
Which means celebrate the joy of being together. Taking humor as a universal language, the shows on Sub are light-hearted and make up for an enjoyable family viewing experience. Indeed.
असली मजाक सबके साथ आता है.
अब तो सबको पता है यार.
Sub TV is now on digital channel 31.8.
Yeah, we have Marie living with us. She's from Germany.
Getting them involved in school activities, that's where they meet other kids. It's not so much in the classroom.
We want them to be who they are and become part of us and us become part of them. And we give our hearts away to each of them, but they also give back.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Samsung big screen we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an HD 3D web-enabled Samsung TV. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high-efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Back here on the program, connect with me on MeTV Fresno, 436-MeTV, option 11. If you want to be a host family or just ask a question, we're talking about foreign exchange students. It's a big, I think in this day and age, in 2016, it is a huge deal to have a foreign exchange student. A lot of people are doing it right here in the Central Valley and all over the country. We have two of them here now. Lisa Waterman here in the leather jacket, and Paula, and I got to get the correct pronunciation. Schapper?
Yes.
Schapper, okay, both from Germany. So welcome here. How long have you been here in the States?
Since January, the beginning of January, so not that long.
No, just about a month then.
Yeah.
But and you the same?
I arrived in the middle of August.
Okay, so you've been here just a little bit longer, maybe
Yeah.
about 6 to 8 months.
Mhm.
And so let me start with you, Lisa. You've been here Just over a month.
Yes.
Okay, first time in the United States?
Yeah.
And what do you think so far?
Oh, I love it here. It's like, it's so different, but it's so exciting and it's so fun.
Where have you been besides Fresno? Tell us.
Well, I'm in Merced right now. And,
Oh, okay, but
we plan on doing some trips to San Francisco and so on.
You haven't been there yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. How about L.A.?
Oh, I would love to go to LA.
There are a lot of things to do in California. You got San
Yes,
Francisco,
yes.
L.A., you've got Carmel, Monterey. Ever heard of Carmel?
Yes.
Monterey?
We talked about that yesterday, actually.
Yeah, Carmel is beautiful. You have Lake Tahoe. You also have
Yosemite.
Yosemite.
Yes.
That's right, down the street here. And if you want to cross the state line, you can go to Vegas. You ever heard of Las Vegas?
Sure.
What about you, Paula? Where have you been? You've been here the longest, obviously. And what do you love about the United States?
Oh, I love a lot of things, but actually the best thing is other people, because everybody's so nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Where have you been? Besides Fresno and Merced?
I visited a lot of places. Last weekend I went to Disneyland, and that was
Great.
amazing. And over New Year's we were in Seattle. And
Wow.
yeah, and I also visited Monterey and San Francisco so far.
Oh, that's good. So you like the people.
Yeah.
And how much different are the people here than, say, in Germany?
It's not a big difference because like teenagers are teenagers, like you already said, but everybody's so open and friendly, so it's super cool in school. Everybody's interested in me, and yeah, you're never alone.
Yeah. What do you like to do besides play on your cell phones? Because I know you guys are just like my kids. And how old are you guys, by the way?
I'm 15.
You're 15 and you are?
I just turned 17.
You just turned 17. What's your thing? Is it cell phones? Is it video games? What do you like to do?
So should I answer?
Go ahead, anybody.
So I like to be on my cell phone, but of course I also like to be active and doing sports, and that's awesome in high school because you can play the sports right after school. So I was in cheer the first season, and right now I'm in swimming.
You're in swimming right now.
Yeah.
And what school?
In Churchill Union High School.
Okay, and you?
Capitan High School in Merced.
Okay, and are you involved in sports as well? Or
Yeah, I was a cheerleader for like 1 month now, but the season is over and I'm sad. But there are different options to do in my school.
When are you scheduled to go back to Germany?
I'm gonna leave in the beginning of June, so a few days after the graduation.
Me too.
Oh, so you're not going to come back?
I
Neither
hope
one of
so.
you, do you think, or maybe?
I plan to go back with my family that they can see everything, but yeah, I have to leave in June.
Right. Now, for both of you, this is the first time for you in the United States. Is it everything that you dreamed of? Is it everything that you expected? And talk a little bit also about your host family.
Oh yeah, like I love my host family and I'm honest. And it's pretty much how I expected it to be. And I'm very glad that I'm here, and I'm glad that I'm like happy here, and I don't regret everything.
Yeah. Is the United States everything you thought it would be or dreamed about?
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, it's pretty much how I expected it would be. And back home, I have a small family. I just have one brother. And right now, my host family is huge. Like, I have 3 sisters at home and then 5 more siblings. It's a big family. And yeah, it's awesome over Christmas to experience all of this.
So you were here for Christmas, right?
Yeah.
So you must have missed your family, I'm assuming.
Yeah, everybody was like, oh, you'll miss your family over Christmas. It's going to be hard. But for me, it wasn't a big deal because it was new and I met so much new people. So it was awesome.
And talk about your host family here.
Yeah. I have an older sister. She's a senior right now, and we are living together. We're doing everything together. We are like best friends. And with us are living 2 little sisters. They are 5 and 8.
Yeah. Would either one of you consider coming back and living in the United States full time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would?
Mm-hmm.
I
You would?
I'll definitely think about it, especially when I go to college later on, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Talk about your family in Germany. Where do you come from in Germany?
I come from a city next to Cologne. It's like the west part of Germany. And my family...
What city is that near? Big city, let's say.
Oh, Cologne is the biggest city around, pretty much.
No, but is it close to Munich, or is it close to say, Frankfurt or any of those other cities, or not really?
Not really. Not
Okay.
really. It's a small town.
Okay, go ahead.
And my family is pretty similar to my host family, to be honest. I have 2 brothers, and now I have a sister, which is just awesome to experience that, because I would never experience that at home.
So how many brothers and sisters do you have back in Germany?
I have 2 brothers.
2 brothers. Are they jealous because you're here?
Yeah, they
A
miss
little
me.
bit?
They're older than me, so I was always like the youngest child in my house, and now I'm the oldest one.
What about Paula? Paula, where are you from?
I'm from Magdeburg. That's the capital of the state.
Okay.
And it's close to Berlin. You have to drive 1.5 hours to Berlin.
Oh, okay, so it's a fairly close drive to Berlin.
Yeah.
All right. So how many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have one older brother, and he's 19.
He's 19. Is he wanting to come here too?
No, he didn't want to. Like, he's not as me. He didn't want to travel a lot. It's not like his thing, languages and everything. But I wanted to do it.
Yeah. Got to go to break, but I want to ask you one more question before I go to break, and maybe you can both answer this. The most exciting part about being here is what? Let's have both of you answer that.
Okay, high school. Definitely high school.
What about high school that you like the most?
The people.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Paula?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think high school is awesome. It's so different than in Germany.
Yeah.
Because you have so many elective subjects. It's so much more fun. Right now I have keyboarding in school. I can do drama. And also that the sport is together with the high school, and yeah, just fun. And also the rallies and the special days, the homecoming week. It's just awesome to experience all this stuff.
So it's more diverse than it is in Germany, and you have much more to select from?
Yeah.
Would
they
you
give
say
you many more like options, and you can be more creative.
Do you think you can get a better education here than you can back home?
Well, what do you think?
I don't know. It's hard to compare it, because in Germany you just learn the theoretic stuff, like a lot of my math, languages. We have so much more strict and hard classes, and here you just have more the fun classes.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate it. I'm going to bring one of the host mothers up and talk to her with her daughter, but I appreciate your time. Thank you for coming up here and talking to us, and good luck to both of you. Lisa Waterman, appreciate your time.
Nice
good
to meet
luck.
you.
Paula Schapper,
Thank you.
and thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, 2 foreign exchange students, both from Germany, different parts of Germany. One has been here since August. The one here, Lisa, she's only been here since January. 436-MeTV, option 11. We're back with the next part of our program in just a moment after this for Charles Chuck McGill, attorney at law.
Have you or a loved one recently been arrested for a serious crime?
Is your professional reputation at risk?
Aggressive representation from a qualified defense attorney can help you avoid conviction and keep your reputation untarnished.
Hi, I'm Charles McGill, and I'll fight for your rights. With extensive experience in successfully defending against a wide range of criminal offenses and high-profile cases, you can rest assured that you'll get the fair trial you deserve from McGill, Guzman, McGill. Call us at 559-255-3425 or visit us online at toplawyersfresno.com.
It's Sully and Russ on the Big Biz Show.
It's your biz.
And maybe they'll start listening to Baldwin McCullough.
Now, before you make any money moves, check in with the Brain Trust.
And you are starting your week off right.
Biz TV is now on KBHF channel 4.6.
We have Marie living with us. She's from Germany.
Getting them involved in school activities, that's where they meet other kids. It's not so much in the classroom.
We want them to be who they are and become part of us, and us become part of them. And we give our hearts away to each of them, but they also give back.
This is Tough TV, Tough Sports, Tough Lifestyle, Tough Drama, Tough Reality, Tough Talk, Tough Specials, Tough Movies, Tough TV.
Now on KBHF 4.2.
Are you tough enough?
Back here on the program, 436-MeTV, option 11. Very little time here. Have a host mom For the foreign exchange program, she is Nancy O'Brien Shade from Merced and her daughter Grace Shade. Thank you both for being here. I appreciate it very much. And so you're a host mom for one of the girls that was up here, right?
Lisa.
Which one?
Yes, Lisa Waterman.
Okay, so is this your first time in being a host parent?
It is, but my parents actually hosted a girl from Holland when I was in college. So when I left the house, they had a room available, and they decided to host someone from Holland.
Okay, so you're not a single mom. You have a husband. Does that make it easier? Does your husband help out?
Oh, definitely, because since we have two children in separate schools now, we have to drive them. Lisa has to be driven to school because she doesn't ride the bus. It's in a different district.
Yeah.
She's in a different district than our daughter, so it definitely helps to have. And they're on two different schedules now, which was totally different for us because we've never had a high school student. So it's been a real experience. But now
what
we've
kind
kind
of
of
an
gotten used to
experience
it.
has it been?
Well, just getting used to having a high school. Everybody says, "Oh, you'll get used to. It'll be a good trial period for when our daughter becomes a high school student."
Yeah.
But it's. I think it was just really for us. It was just getting used to scheduling. Yeah. Because we wanted Lisa to be active in school and be able to.
Give me the positives and give me the negatives. Have there been any negatives? Or no? Doesn't sound like it.
Well, I don't know that I would call them negatives. It was just getting used to each other.
Well, that's
you have to learn
natural,
to
though.
communicate, right?
I mean,
and
I had to get used to my kids when they were
I
born,
told
too.
Exactly. And
You know what I mean?
I compared it to it's not really childbirth, but I said it's like having a new child. It really is.
Yeah, I know.
But so you just have to get used you have to learn to communicate. And
Tell me
once
how
if you're open and willing to do that, then you're all good after
Tell
that.
me quickly how this has enriched your life and the
Oh, my
lives of
goodness.
your family.
It's been amazing so far, and it's only been a month, so I can imagine what the next 5 months is going to be. Just being able to learn about where she's from and Germany, and to get to know her specifically and to be able to teach her. That's one thing that we love, to learn different things about her, and to be able to teach her things about us and our country and our food and what we do each day is pretty exciting.
Grace, real quick, how do you like having an extra sister or sibling in the house?
I think it's really fun because it was just a cool experience since I'm just the only child.
Do you guys get along?
Yes.
You don't
really
fight?
Well.
You no
No,
arguments?
never.
No?
There's
You
lots
share-
of laughing.
Yeah, how about the cell phones? Cell phones? You go
She
cell
has a
phones?
house of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quickly, caller, what's your question? You got 10 seconds. 10 seconds. What's your question?
10 seconds, all right.
I'm serious.
Tell your guest that he might want to check with the superintendents of schools in the area, and I recommend Fowler.
Okay.
It's right there next to Fresno, and
You got it.
it's,
Okay. Recommend Fowler. Okay. Anything else you'd like to say quickly in like 30 seconds or less about this foreign exchange student program?
I suggest that as long as you're open to having someone new in your family, do it.
Is she
think
like
it's
your own daughter
wonderful.
now in less than a month?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Really?
She is part of our family. And that's how you have to treat her. You have to treat it, when they come into your home, you have to treat them as if they're part of your family.
Yeah. Hey, we got to go to break. Otherwise, we're going to get cut off. But I appreciate Nancy O'Brien Shade, her daughter Grace. I appreciate it. Have
Thank you
fun
so
with the
much.
foreign exchange
Yes,
student,
absolutely.
Lisa, who was here, Lisa Waterman. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, very gracious of you to drive in from Merced. Appreciate it. Hey, tomorrow's program, we got a political show. It's Joaquin Arambula. Thanks for being here today. Don't want to get cut off, so I will say goodbye and have a great day. See you back here tomorrow and connect with me.
Yeah, we have Marie living with us. She's from Germany.
Getting them involved in school activities, that's where they meet other kids. It's not so much in the classroom.
We want them to be who they are and become part of us, and us become part of them. And we give our hearts away to each of them, but they also give back.
Have you or a loved one recently been arrested for a serious crime?
Is your professional reputation at risk?
Aggressive representation from a qualified defense attorney can help you avoid conviction and keep your reputation untarnished.
Hi, I'm Charles McGill, and I'll fight for your rights. With extensive experience in successfully defending against a wide range of criminal offenses and high-profile cases, you can rest assured that you'll get the fair trial you